what's my thoughts on Erdogan? I mean, to be honest with you guys, Erdogan says a lot of good stuff about Gaza. He talks a good game. Like we were just saying, there's the talkers and there's the doers. And he talks a good game. I really didn't have a lot of issues with him, but it seems that Erdogan is funding terrorism in Syria. I mean, I really don't want to believe it. I didn't like Erdogan, man, but I know a lot of people liked Erdogan, and he wasn't the worst out of the Arab leaders, or, you know, the Muslim leaders and shit, so it's a shame, man. It's a shame, but he is looking like a Zionist right now, you know. It's a shame, honestly. But yeah, Saudi Arabia and Egypt both expressed support for the Assad government, which is surprising because they don't really do much. But, you know. And Hadi Nasrallah done an important tweet, and he said before being sent to Idlib, the moderate rebels that everyone, you know, claims they're moderate rebels, that some people are supporting, caged 400 kidnapped Syrian women, children and men to parade them in Ghouta as human shields. And these are the same terrorists that are being publicly backed by Israel against Syria. Coincidence? No. So then 9 hours ago, thousands of fighters from Iraq were spotted on their way to fight terrorism in Syria. We've got some photos here. Yeah, you can see the convoys moving in. And the Iranian foreign minister, oh, I hate it when my Twitter does this. We've got to load it all over again. It's so backwards, man. Fix your app, Elon. But yeah, the Iranian foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, came out and said Christians, Shia Muslims and other religious minorities are not safe under the rules of these HTS terrorists. These takfiris, sorry if a Muslim in the comments can correct how I pronounce that word. I've heard others say it and they slip my mind when it's written in front of me. It just confuses me, sorry. I will learn. But he says these guys are filth, they adhere to ISIS ideology, and they seek to exterminate anyone that stands in their way. And they also seek to undermine the unity of the Syrian people. Couldn't agree more. President Bashar al-Assad came out and said terrorism understands only the language of force, and this is the language which we will use to break and destroy it, regardless of its supporters and sponsors. More Zionist behaviour. The Turkish-backed SNA rebels captured 2 Kurdish SDF soldiers, forcing them to howl like wolves, and one of them refused and he was killed instantly. Do you know what video comes to mind as well when I see that? And what we literally just watched. It's gone now. I must have closed the tab. But do you remember the video we just watched moments ago when the Israel soldiers are parading around the prisoners, the kidnapped civilians, should we say, and they're singing Wheels on the Train or some shit like that? It's the same playbook, man. It's the same fucking playbook. Sorry. If it's the same playbook, because if those Palestinians didn't walk along and let them violate them, then I'm sure they would have been killed as well. And then we saw Turkish-speaking terrorists in Syria that were burning Russian flags. That's fucking... What's the fucking point? So they said Turkish Emerald flags will descend with your virus. Fucko and Sheriff will always be higher. It's funny how they always... You know the Western, when they send these like NATO-backed terrorists in, they always like portray them as Muslims, you know? Try and give a bad name to the Muslims. I suppose it's because the Jewish community's got such a bad name from Israel, they're trying to flip the script now, you know? But yeah, they're stamping on the Russia flag, and then they start burning it at the end. I mean... Yeah. Terrorism everywhere. Iran's foreign minister, we're going to have to go back up to the top, of course. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi carried a message from Iran's supreme leader to President Assad. So basically, Araghchi, he arrived in Syria earlier today, and he had a meeting with them. And he said, Well, basically, he confirmed the Islamic Republic of Iran's firm position alongside Syria in its fight against terrorism, and its complete readiness to provide all necessary support to the Syrian government for this purpose. He also noted that Syria has previously faced much more difficult situations than it's facing now, and that it is capable of achieving a victory against terrorism and its backers, and that Iran will always support the Syrian government in defeating the Zionist schemes to destabilise Syria and the entire region. Shout out to Iran, man, they always put in work. Then these al-Nusra terrorists spoke out after being captured by the Syrian army, and they said, Turkey trains and finances us. Even the commanders are from the Turkish army. It's not looking good for Erdogan, man. I really fucking hope this shit. Damn, man. I was starting to like Erdogan, man. A lot of, my Turkish supporters were, telling me he's good and shit, but unfortunately a lot of those Turkish guys are turning against me now for reporting what's going on in Syria. So I don't know how they can oppose, Zionist terrorists in Gaza and then support them in Syria. It really don't make sense to me, man. Yeah, Omar, I mean, you're right there. You are right. He always speaks about Gaza. He talks the good talk. And look how quickly he acts in Syria. I mean, what the fuck? Like, how quickly are they to send terrorists and shit there? I mean, why didn't they send anyone to help Palestine, man? Who knows? I'm glad to see a lot of you. I think every single person in this chat is bang on. Yeah. I was expecting a lot of people in the chat to be in disagreement, but I'm pretty sure everyone in this chat is, on the same page, which is actually very surprising because my comments have been flooded with people attacking me. Do you know, guys, that I've lost over 1,000 followers over the last few days? Like, I was at over 380k. X does delete my followers sometimes. I think they delete about 300 a day, but I usually gain about 300 a day. So, I gain more than that usually. It goes up. So obviously I've been gaining some as well and getting some deleted by X. I'll take that into account. But the ones that get deleted, I'm trying to say, are like covered by the... Say if I gained 300 followers and X deleted 300, I'll just stay at the same number because it does go down and goes back up. But I know for a fact that I've been mass unfollowed by a lot of people. Yeah, so I've had like over 1,000 people unfollow me. Which is crazy to me, but I've been mass blocked as well. Like, I look in my comments and people are like, yeah, fuck you. You support this and that, like, blah, blah. Fuck Russia, fuck Iran, like... And they're saying all these countries, that have been actually supporting Palestine for the last year, and then now they're all turning their backs. So yeah, I've lost over 1,000 followers, which is very surprising. I'm getting mass blocked by people, but I had to sit down and think about it, man. Like, I'm not going to sit there and support fucking ISIS. I mean, we've been calling Israel ISIS for the last, over a year. Do you think I'm now going to support ISIS? And then people are trying to tell me that this is a resistance movement. These guys are not from Syria, guys. Like, fair enough if you try and tell me that these are Syrians fighting back against Assad for whatever reason, but it's all bullshit. These are people from other countries. There's like the Turkish there, we've seen Albanians, we've seen Algerians, we've seen fucking every country there apart from Syria. And the people that are losing in this really is the Syrian people, because then you've got Assad. Obviously he's got the weapon defense, he's got the support of Russia and Iran, which is great. But then these fucking terrorists are dragging civilian lives into it, and then they paint Assad as this bad guy. I mean, a lot of people back then, I think, was brainwashed about Assad. There's a lot of shit saying he done chemical attacks, this and that. But if you guys go check out the Grey Zone, them guys literally exposed this shit years ago. It was all mainstream media propaganda. I'm sure there was probably ways that Assad could have done things better, but he's a one man. Like, he's on his own, guys. Like, he's trying his best. He's trying to protect his country. And like I said earlier, some people might not agree with him. Some people might not want him as their president, which is fine. I don't want Keir Starmer as my prime minister. But I'm not going to team up with ISIS forces to get rid of him. And I'm not going to support ISIS forces if they did try and get rid of him, So there's ways to go around things in life, But yeah, always free Palestine, man, till the end. I'll never turn my back on Palestine. And to all the people that unfollowed me, good fucking riddance, honestly. I don't want these fucking ISIS supporters following me anyway. They can go fuck off with Zionist Israel and Erdogan and all that shit. I don't care. It's good to see that people are seeing through this bullshit, and we ain't got none of them people here.